cinema, autumn, Halloween, and original horror. That's the best recipe. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel Real Horror. As you read by the title, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna be reviewing the newest horror film, original, almost independent horror film released at the theaters called It Lives Inside. First things first, before I start talking about this film, I just want to say that this review is going to be completely spoiler free because this film hasn't been released all around the world. It's just been released in a few cities in the UK and in the United States, and I had the opportunity to watch this film on like September 8th on this event called Scream Unseen, where people just book their tickets and they don't know what movie they're about to watch. They just give us a few clues, but we're not really sure which movie it is. And in this case, the movie that we managed to watch was It Lives Inside. So thank you to Odeon for giving me the opportunity to watch this film before the whole world. The structure that I follow for this kind of videos is that I talk about things that I liked about the film, things that I didn't like. I also talk about technical aspects such as the cinematography, the lighting, the sound design, the acting, all that kind of stuff, the cinematography in general. And I also give fun facts here and there about the film. It lives inside. You can't contain evil. An Indian American teenager struggling with her cultural identity has a falling out with her former best friend and, in the process, releases a demonic entity that grows stronger by feeding on her loneliness. So this film was directed by Vishal Dutta. I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong. This is actually, so fun fact is that this is his directorial debut. This is his first ever long featurette. So the fact that this movie is getting released worldwide, that it got released first in the United States and in the United Kingdom, is truly amazing and inspirational, especially for a foreign director. The other three films that he has are short films, and the one that interests me the most is the one called Inferno. As in today, the movie is standing on a 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb. It's also standing on a 2.7 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and on Rotten Tomatoes it has a 61% of reviewers against 53% in audience score. I do believe that as this movie gets released more and more in more countries, I think it's gonna get more popular. So I really hope those grades improve, because I truly believe this movie deserves better, especially because of the year that is coming out, against the movies that is competing. Like this movie, as an independent as it is competing against stuff like The Nun 2. It's also competing against the upcoming Saw film, The Exorcist. The budget for this film was around $10 million, so it was not the cheapest film, especially for an independent filmmaker, for directorial debut. As in today, this movie has managed to make around $3,500,000, so that's actually a green flag, because obviously this movie is gonna come out around the 20th of October all around the world. So I'm really sure this director is not gonna go bankruptcy. I'm sure this movie is gonna make around maybe 20 million, maybe 30 million, or maybe like just 15, but I think it's gonna make more than its own budget. So briefly talking, we're gonna start talking about the things that I didn't like, so I can take that out of the way. The first thing that I didn't like is that obviously this film follows a lot of horror tropes, especially in this subgenre, and that's something that I didn't really enjoy, because I could see many stuff coming and I could predict this film so easily. And as the time the movie was progressing and when the film finally ended, every prediction that I have became true. So this film is very predictable, at least for me. Another aspect that I personally didn't enjoy is that we get revealed so much how the creature looks like, and I think that's something that these kind of films shouldn't do. You know, for example, if you follow A Quiet Place, we barely see those creatures, but I think this movie really takes you out of it, because as the movie is progressing, the creature gets revealed more and more. So by the time you just get so used to it, so it really takes that horror aspect from the film. A few things that I liked about this film is, first of all, I think this movie, even though we talked about that this movie follows a lot of horror tropes and stuff, this movie somehow manages to be unique and original. And I don't know if it's because of the kind of characters that we're following or the kind of storyline and how it's developed, but somehow I found this movie pretty unique and original, if that makes sense. And also another thing that I really loved, and I think it's one of the best things about this film, is the lighting design. I think this film it mixes a lot of amazing colors, warm colors such as the red, the oranges, and the blacks. There is so many scenes in the basement that involve those colors, and I think the way the lighting plan was made in this film was absolutely gorgeous. Like, those scenes alone are super good looking. Another thing that I absolutely loved was the acting. I think the acting really works for this film, especially because most of the actresses, especially our two main leads, this is like their first long feature, right? Like, this is their first main role, especially with one of the girls. This is literally her first ever film. Our lead, Megan Suri, we have seen her before in another 2023 film actually, which is Missing. Another actress that is in this film, and I think she's such an underrated screen queen, is Betty Gabriel. And we have seen her before in films like Get Out, Upgrade, The Purge Election Year, Dark Web, Defending Jacob, and so on and so on. I think her acting was really believable. Like, you really believe this character. She was a teacher that cared about her students, and there's so many scenes that involve this character, especially at the school, that are absolutely phenomenal. Another good thing that I liked about this film, it goes to the acting, especially from our lead Megan Suri, and it's that, you know, when someone, or when you have like a special, unique feature on your face or on your body and it works for you. For example, when you look at the actress that plays Balak in the Conjuring universe, her face is so unique and it was made for this role because of the way her whole face is like, it's such a unique face and stuff, so it really works for that character. In this case, our lead, I think her eyes were phenomenal because you communicate so much with those eyes. I think her acting, like, she really communicates well with the audience through her eyes, when like she's screaming, when she's so surprised, when she's crying. Briefly talking about the creature, like the villain, the antagonist of this film, so I don't want to give too much spoilers, as you know. I think the origins are absolutely fantastic because I think I didn't see it coming that much, especially because of the object that is cursed, you know, so I was expecting something else, but ended up being something else too. Even though, as I said before, this movie is following a lot of horror tropes, I think it managed to turn around the origins of this villain, and I think that was fantastic. Briefly talking about the cinematography aspect, or like the filmmaking aspects, and like I said before, the lighting plan, absolutely gorgeous. The cinematography, really rich cinematography and camera work. And obviously the script, I think it's a strong script, especially because this movie is about origins when it comes to the antagonist. I think the dialogue felt natural, especially because our main character, she feels so human because she feels detached from her culture, from her ethnicity and stuff. So that makes her really human, because we all have felt that somehow, especially if you are a foreign and stuff. So you have felt that in the past. So that I felt identified with her sometimes because I've been through that. And the fact that she's a teenager, she's even more realistic, because obviously we all go through that phase when we are teenagers. And her whole interaction with her mom and stuff, it really felt smooth and natural. So that was it. I'm not gonna talk too much about this film because I really want you to go fully blind on this film. So I really hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know if you're gonna watch this film, if you watch it, or if you have watched it already. Let me know what you think about it. I really can't wait to see how this movie is gonna do once its theatrical run finishes. I really hope it does good numbers, especially because it's a directorial debut, so that's hell impressive. If you do go and see this movie at the theaters, I really hope you enjoy. I really hope you like this film, and even if you don't, at least we are supporting independent filmmaking at the cinemas. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice end of the week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.